What is going on, champs? It is your boy Sultan. Welcome faces back to yet another Apex Legends video. Now, in today's video, we are going to be going over what you should carry in Apex Legends. So, enough banter. Let's go ahead and get in today's video. Now, before we do begin today's video, I definitely want you guys to keep in mind that you won't be able to achieve the best loot every single game. But I think if you know what you are looking for and you know how much of the item that you need, it's going to become much easier on obtaining your end game loot. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop in today's topic. What are the most important things you should carry in Apex Legends? First off, I definitely want you guys to know the setup of a loot crate. Now that's going to be very key in number one, obtaining your loot, and number two, keeping you alive to actually get this loot. So when you open up a loot box, aka a dead person's loot, you have all of their loot in the crate, but you guys should know that it is organized specifically inside the crate, starting with the weapons, and as you scroll down, you go to the ammo, then you go to the gear, then attachments, and then consumables. Now that's very important to know where the location of the item that you were looking for, because you are on a time limit when you're looting. You don't want to be standing over a body. That's how you are either going to get sniped, number one, or number two, you can get naded and then pushed very easily. So knowing where stuff is inside of a dead loot box is going to help you loot so much quicker, and it's going to be overall more safe, which in result is going to keep you alive for the end game. I can't stress how many times I kill people just standing over loot crates, looting their off while I'm over here just throwing arc stars, nades, and to start coming in with my gun and absolutely destroying them. So that is definitely a big key factor you have to keep in consideration, and you don't want to make that mistake. Open up a loot crate, be quick with it, know where your stuff is, and then you can bounce out of there. Make sure your surroundings are clear and it's safe to go back onto the crate to loot it again, just in case if you missed anything. And before we do begin on going over what exactly you should carry and how much of the item you should carry, I definitely do want to go into, when you are looting somebody, what you should pick up first if it is not a safe area. The first thing you're going to want to look for is a body shield. Yes, that's going to be the best thing to help you obtain and absorb more damage. I don't know if you guys know, but if you do pick up a body shield that's the same rarity or even better, your shield bar will maximize itself on its own. So let's say, for example, you do have a purple shield and you find another purple shield in the crate, and the one that you are rocking is damaged. If you pick the one that's in the crate up, you are then going to have a full shield on your character. You don't need to waste the shield cells or the batteries on, fixing up your original armor. So definitely take that into consideration before you start wasting your armor consumables, because they are going to help you so much in the end game. So now that we have that covered, I do want to go over into backpacks and break them down very quickly. So when you pick up a regular white backpack, you're going to have an opening for 10 slots, and that is up to you on what you want to pick up. And then if you get a blue backpack, you're going to be able to have 12 different items, and then purple and yellow do have the same amount at a maximum capacity at 14 items. However, when you do get the yellow backpack, not only it does the same thing as a purple, but you also use consumables 2 times as fast. So that's definitely going to be super clutch in a lot of situations when you are playing this game, but it definitely is rare to come across a yellow backpack, so consider yourself lucky if you do find one. So now that we know how much items you can carry with the different backpacks, let's start discussing on what you should carry, and then after that we are going to go on how much of the item you should carry. So of course, the number one thing you're going to want to carry is ammo, specific ammo for your gun. So if you have a light ammoed gun, you're going to want to carry at least 200 rounds in my opinion, or 2 full slots of ammo, and same goes for your secondary. But if you do have a pistol, I definitely recommend sitting maybe at 1 slot full. You are probably going to be good to go, because a pistol really doesn't waste too much ammo. But if you have an AR, scout rifle, submachine gun, I'd recommend being the minimum at 2 slots at full capacity. So if I had to estimate the actual number of bullets, I would be sitting around 200 plus bullets, because that is going to be enough for you to finish a whole team, as well as without looting that team to kill another team, because you never know what can happen in this game. It's all random. Different squads can come in from different ways, and you always have to be on your toes, and you also have to make sure you have an ample amount of supplies to fight multiple teams at once. Sometimes, like we've seen, you guys probably seen, you can get killed looting very easily. It's basically a bait, so be careful when you're looting. Use the tips that I said in the beginning of the video, and that is going to help you in the long run. So now that we know how much ammo we should carry, let's go ahead and move on to the consumables. We'll go ahead and start off with the batteries and the shield cells. Now, me, in my opinion, I prefer batteries over shield cells so many times throughout the game. However, if you are in the early stage of the game, it's very hard to come across batteries, so you won't be able to have, you know, enough of them. Then you're going to have to take in some shield cells. So before making that decision, if you have 3+ batteries, you are good to go. I personally wouldn't pick up any more shield cells from there. Generally, 3 batteries is going to help you clean up a team, and maybe 2 if they decide to come in. I feel like having shield cells as an extra slot just wastes that slot when you can use that for different throwables. So to quickly recap, we're going to want to be sitting at around 3 batteries, and then if you can get more, of course, definitely pick them up, but I wouldn't go over 6. So having 2 slots of batteries is going to be plenty for you, and the same thing goes for medkits. If you have 3 medkits, do not worry about picking up syringes, especially if you have a lifeline character on your team. When they have the healing drone, you're not going to need any syringes. If you need that little boost of health, just notify your lifeline character that's on your team to help boost you up. But again, if you don't have 3+ medkits, I definitely recommend picking up at least a little bit of syringes, about 1 slot worth. I wouldn't go over 1 slot, because then again, you are wasting a precious slot that you can use on a lot of different things. So to summarize all the consumables, again, you're going to want to be sitting at 3+ batteries and then 3+ medkits. However, if you cannot obtain this kind of loot, then at least have 1 slot dedicated for the battery. Never drop batteries. I can't stress that enough. Or medkits. Always keep them if you can. The main thing you're going to be dropping is going to be the things that heal you the least amount. So syringes and shield cells. Definitely drop those as soon as you can get your hands on more batteries and medkits. So essentially, you're going to be taking up 4 squares, 2 for the batteries and then 2 for the medkits. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the throwables. Now, of course, we have the arc star, the frag grenade, and the thermite grenade in Apex Legends. But what is better? What should you use? That's why you are here. So let's go ahead and break them down real quick. The arc star is, in my opinion, the best throwable that you can have in the game. It completely deteriorates their armor. No matter if it's a direct impact or not, it does have splash damage. But if you do hit a direct impact arc star, say goodbye to their armor. I would focus on that person instantly, put 1 clip into them, and then they're dead, as long as you can hit your shots. Arc stars are extremely crucial when going into a gunfight. Definitely recommend throwing them, so that can give you an upper hand on the damage output. Because if you start tagging enemies with your nades while going into a gunfight, they're gonna have to sit and heal up while you can then take map positioning to get a better angle on them. Then we're gonna move on to the grenades. Now, the grenades, in my opinion, they're the second best thing to use in this game. They do a lot of damage. They also have splash damage as well. And then finally, the thermite grenades. Again, they're not bad, but I do think the frag and the arc star is just way better of an option for you. I pretty much use the arc star and frag grenade combo every single game if I can. Usually you can have these items. They're very viable to get in the game, so it's not going to be, oh, you're looking for an arc star. You're going to find these everywhere. A lot of people are starting to carry them now because they are very good to use. They were very underlooked when the game first came out, but now that people are catching the meta to throw more consumables, you can definitely expect to be looting them from dead bodies. And before you guys go into the comments starting to roast me on saying that thermite grenades are good, listen, I know they're good and I know you can pin down enemies with them and deal damage over time with them, but I do think it also makes a choke point for yourself, not for your team, but for yourself. And me, I'm very aggressive as a player. I like to get up in their face, play with SMGs, and if I do throw stuff in front of me, especially like a thermite grenade that lasts a while, it resists me from going to that area to really get in their face. So I definitely want stuff that explodes almost on impact and then it clears the scene, so that way I can get myself into that gunfight. Also, a quick side note, you can stack 2 of each throwable. So arc stars, nades, and thermites, you can stack 2 on a single square. So as far as the throwables go, definitely pick up the arc star first. That's going to be most beneficial to you. And then I always like to pick up the nade as a second throwable. You also have to keep in mind on what kind of backpack you have. So that's also going to take into consideration when you are looting. So if you do have a white backpack, I recommend picking up 4 slots worth of ammo. It doesn't really matter what type of ammo it is. It's just based on the weapon that you have and that you're using. So like I said before, if you have an AR, SMG, you're going to want to have at least 2 slots of the same ammo. But if it's a pistol and it has maybe, let's say, a wingman, for example, and it has heavy ammo, then you can get away with having 1 stack of ammo. Then again, with the batteries, you want to be sitting at 3+. Same thing with medkit. So that's only going to take up 1 square. The throwables, like I said, you're going to want to have 2 arc stars and 2 grenades. That's going to be the best setup. I hope you guys do take these tips into consideration next time you're looting. Again, know what you are looking for and know the quantity of what the item you're looking for. That's going to engage in a faster loot time, less chance of you being open and exposed. That way you can stay on the hunt on killing more people. If you guys enjoyed today's video, definitely be sure to drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing for some more Apex Legends content. Here you can find tips, tricks, and reviews on making you a better player. Alright guys, that is going to do it for me today. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, this has been your boy Sultan, and I'm signing off. Peace.